What's up, everybody? It's Rahman, Jamaal, Rahman, and we're just wrapping up on Sunday from the U.S. Social Forum here in San Jose, California. I would say that I'm coming away with a new understanding of how the movement is shaping in the direction that it needs to go. I on Thursday hosted the PMA on education, which was very it was elucidating on kind of seeing where everybody's at. I had 3 presenters in school administration, college professors. We had in the mix arts integrated specialists, teachers, presenting on just where education needs to go, and everybody says they got a lot out of it. There were copious notes taken, as well as it was documented on video, so we'll be able to go back over that and put that out there. A main thing that I see that I kind of learned, or just am starting to come more into terms with, is the necessity that people who are conscious and part of the movement need to get engaged in politics, which is something that, I kind of had the perspective of, politics is, it's its own thing, and it's kind of such a rigid arena that, you run the risk of not being able to solve the overarching problems that are the root of a lot of the injustices. And yet it's not, I learned that it's not so much either or. It's going to require both. It's going to require our engagement in the political field. People like us that are really looking at these issues need to really get involved and engage those who are maybe not as connected, yet are still making the decisions that affect people. So we definitely need engagement in that, as well as keeping an eye on the big picture and knowing that the political framework in the dealings and the processes within that are just one step. We always got to stay one step ahead of the curve. So, if anybody that wasn't able to attend the U.S. Social Forum, understand that this is if you need to stay connected, because it's like activism is like this trending thing. Everybody wants to feel like they're conscious and they're doing stuff to push things forward. A lot of people are just kind of spinning around like a fart in the wind. And it's a lot of people aren't really people like to stay in their comfort zones and kind of work from within their little silos, but it's going to take a lot more than that, and we're going to, it's organization, it's bringing people together, it's understanding the issues, but then it's really coming up with plans of action and strategies for what are we going to do after this. And a big part of that is changing the conversation, and that needs to happen first. We need to know how to talk about these different issues and how they're interrelated in the different fronts of struggle. So many of us are just so distracted by our income and our need for feeding ourselves, right? And that's one of the ways they paralyze us, is by keeping us thinking in the state of need and the scarcity. Like when you're struggling, one of the things that came out of the education PMA was that you can't teach a kid anything if they don't have their basic needs met. Right? If you have kids that aren't getting proper nutrition while they're at home, they're coming to school, it's like, doesn't matter what you try to teach them or how sound it is, if we don't have those basic needs met, it's not going to come through. And that's happening on a larger scale with even us as adults, right? We're worried about how we're going to feed our kids, or how am I going to pay my rent, right? So we're not able to engage in the deeper thinking processes that are necessary for us to really strategize and form the society that we want to live in. And so it's about community support. It's about us supporting each other in whatever ways that we can, whether that's helping somebody out if they need something to eat, or giving them a place to sleep, or giving somebody a ride. So just little things like that, we got to change it. So in general, I took a lot. That was sort of like this is like the general feeling that I have. But there were other PMAs that I attended, particularly one on the homeless here in San Jose. It was pretty amazing to note that this city spends more money on keeping people homeless than they do on ending homelessness. Like these suites that they do and the encampments cost $10,000 each one that they do, and those don't solve the problem at all. They cost money, and it would be cheaper to just house people. And the fact that we're not making those connections, like, that's a problem. You know, like, we really got to hold our council members accountable to that, as well as you know, anybody that's in a position and it wants to take office and be public service. Like, we got to hold them accountable, and we got to know how the numbers are being crunched. So that was one of the things I took away. Overall, I look forward to seeing the documentation and getting that out through my own networks, Rap Force Academy, Hip Hop Congress, and continuing this process of self-education that we all need to come to terms with in order to create the society that we wish to live in.